It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso live on S3. And the thing is about the movie Paradigm is that JP Sebastian will give you a lowdown of the latest trailers, movies, but I think today it's important to unpack the way characters are perceived, especially when it comes into those gender roles. Now, throughout production of Thor: Love and Thunder, some needless noise is made by the doubters and the haters, as traditional society would be. Natalie Portman's biceps, can she fill the boots, can she grip the hammer, the boring stuff. So JP wanted to cover something different today, and I think it's so important that we are doing this, which is essentially women in those roles in film.
Which are iconic. And like, just as a reminder, because people forget, like some of these exist, and there are a whole lot of names that I could have put on this list.
Yes.
Like G.I. Jane, etc., you know. But I wanted to avoid, okay, look, there are some obvious ones because they are classic.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm eating into my own time. Let's jump into the list. I want to talk about these action women because, like you said, like the whole Natalie Portman brouhaha. Just by the way, like Thor doesn't even need those muscles. Mjolnir, the hammer, flies all on its own, so it's like he's stacked.
And pretty much imbues him with power. So, you know, you don't really need all of the lats.
I want to talk about barbarians, though. So my first favorite.
Yes.
I love this woman so much. Grace Jones as Zula in Conan the Destroyer. A classic. Oh, look at
I remember this.
the photo of Arnold Schwarzenegger. She, what a complete firecracker, to use a term that is, you know, maybe shame, too diminutive or whatever, for this lady who steals the show, as far as I'm concerned. Arnold Schwarzenegger is great at it, but yes, Grace Jones is explosive in this movie, and you should all do yourselves a favor. What I like so much about this is, like, now we're going into these kind of conversations about, okay, if we bring in a female heroine, how do we give her an ideology, a cause, and those are all important conversations. But what about a character who's just a barbarian? Zula has no direction, she has no faith, she has no institution she's coming from, she's just a mad person, as much as Conan is a mad person, and I love it dearly. Guys, 1984 was good. Please do go watch Grace Jones again. What a queen. How do you attract a man, says the princess. She says, you grab him and you take him.
And you know, just as we get into the next one, what I'm enjoying about this is that I suppose traditionally everybody wants to do the whole, like, let's make them muscle-bound. And although fitness of a certain superhero character, let's just say, like Jane Foster, okay, I get it.
Yes.
But one thing that I appreciate in some of the films that you selected is the fact that there's this resilience in the characters.
Despite.
Which is beyond muscle. And that's what I appreciate about a female lead, especially the ones that you are touching on today. Let's get to the next one.
And so the next one, Charlize Duron,
Here we go.
Furiosa, Mad Max Fury Road. Perfectly description, I think, the way, because even they bring in the fact that she's a person with a disability. You know, she's missing the left arm. They don't beat around the bush that Max is this, like, hulked out macho dude, and these whole scenes where the sisters get her back, which, yes, please, more of this kind of, like, women in solidarity with each other, fighting a man singularly and whatever. But I chose this scene because, dude, this really, like, touched my heart. If you remember Fury Road, this was 2015. Mad Max does a virtual 180 about turn, and he says, guys, you have to fight through capitalist patriarchy. The future is not forward into the unknown, it is taking back what is rightfully yours. And to see a male character, put his body on the line and go, I want to be in alliance, and then this handshake, dude, I actually did wall up when I saw this, because, like, especially in a time like now, when you have, like, Roe v. Wade in America and whatever, and every other woman's rights being encroached upon.
There was power there.
Yeah, like, that a man and a woman, that there doesn't need to be a kiss and a romance necessarily. We're brothers and we're sisters in a fight together. Mad Max Fury Road, Furiosa.
That's it, very well chosen. I love Furiosa as a character, and I'm glad that there's a nice spin-off. Funnily enough, Chris Hemsworth's going to be in it as well.
Yes, he is. There are already photographs out for that. You can have a look for yourself. Furiosa, Anya Taylor-Joy. However, next person is Trinity, Carrie Moss, keeping it Australian, another classic person. And again, speaking here about, like, men and women working together, of course, this is a romance movie at its core. The Matrix. I don't need to tell you that, right? 1999. Look, I'm talking about actually the feelies and all of that kind of stuff, but the action is what counts here too. Never mind all the feelies just for a second. This is a classic shot. This is so slick, so epic. The Wachowski sisters, Carrie Moss, in such an iconic role. Importantly, again, like, sure, a human being is allowed to have love and allowed to want a man and allowed to want a woman or whatever. That is not the singular mission of this character, because she is heroic for him. She saves his butt like 3 times, Neo, and he saves hers. Together they're binary, which is actually why one of the design decisions about why they look so similar. Like, they're pretty much androgynous. They're like, you know, 2 halves of the same coin. All that doesn't matter, though, because she is timeless, and Carrie Moss deserves whatever her flowers are, whether they're virtual
And I'm happy that it shows her because once again, the muscle there is knowledge. The muscle there is...
And the word you used, resilience, spirit, force, will, etc. But
that's bigger than muscle for me. Let's go on to the next one.
Help me out here. I think I've forgotten my own list.
Oh, no, it's no problem. The next one you're going to go to is not only Trinity, but of course, Yushu and Jen.
That's right.
Yes, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
This is Michelle Yeoh and Zhang Ziyi.
Yes.
Guys,
I
can't believe I missed this movie
so
on
much.
big screen.
I was working in a video shop when this movie came out.
and I'm sure you burned through that VHS.
Yes, I did.
VHS is to you another day, guys. Just incredible. Do yourselves a favor and watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon again, because Michelle Yeoh, who you last saw in Everything Everywhere All at Once, incredible martial artist. Both of them are.
Wow.
We've seen a couple of times.
Yes.
The action guy, you just saw Thor, and we both enjoyed Thor, but it does not even come close to what these two women achieve in this movie here.
This is
the year 2000 still.
And I would watch this movie. In fact, you just inspired me. I want to watch the movie again.
No, I'm doing it this weekend again.
It's been fantastic. And I really enjoy the fact that, you know what, it's not about the muscle. And also, for any director, you don't need to do the whole muscle-bound individual.
Yeah.
Find a resilient character
though.
that fits in the narrative and not only fits, but takes it on in their own right, which is vitally important as well.